Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. In this video, we are going to transfer all the money that we had put aside for bills, sinking funds, extra savings, and debt, and we're going to be transferring within my Capital One 360 bank accounts. This is how I do my cash envelope method, so to speak. This is more of a digital. It's exactly the same, but I do everything through my online bank, and we use our debit card. It was just what's better for us. I will link in the description below my previous video all about my sinking funds and why I chose to do digital and how I kind of do all of that and keep track of my sinking funds. But today's video is just going to show you how once I do my budget, my paycheck budget, how I take this money and do everything digital and transfer and disperse it, you can say, in all of these accounts. I do have 16 bank accounts. Yes, 16. It's a lot. So, like I said, I do have previous videos explaining all of this. I will link that below. And if you missed my previous video that I did of me actually budgeting out the paycheck, make sure you check that out so you can see how I got my numbers and how we work the zero-based budget and using that to pay off debt. So I'm really excited, and so let's get into it. If you're new here, welcome. My name is Cindy, and this is our journey to get out of debt and live a debt-free life. And we are new to budgeting. We are a family of 4, and we're just doing this with one income. And this is our real numbers, okay? Yep, all real. So we're putting ourselves out there, but I think it's just better to be transparent in this area. I feel like it will help more, just so you guys can see what an average income looks like, an average household, and how it works to pay off debt and save some money, all the good stuff. Be on a budget. So I'm going to show you. I can do all this. It is some work, you guys. It really is, but it's so worth it. But I do this from my phone. That is how simple it is. It is some steps, but it's really great. Okay, so I'm going to show you how simple this is. I'm going to be using my phone and going to my Capital One 360 bank account. Let's see, it is loading. Capital One. Okay, all right, so here is, I'm gonna zoom in. Hopefully you guys won't have trouble seeing this. There we go. I think you guys can see that really well. Yes. So this is all of my accounts with Capital One 360. I have 15 with Capital One. So I have 3 checking, and the rest these are all savings accounts. Okay. So now, as you can see, let's see where it's at. What I did was I took the number, I added, let me zoom you guys back out so you can see. I added my bills, my sinking funds, my extra debt payment, and my extra savings. I added those numbers together, and that is the amount that I had transferred over from my Chase account, because the check is actually a direct deposit into my Chase. Then I take that number and I transfer it to Capital One 360. And what I use is called Zelly. Well, I say Zelly. I've heard some people say Zelle. So Zelle or Zelly. I'll put a picture right now for you guys so you can see. So I use Quick Pay with Zelly, and the reason why I do that, you can link your bank account to whatever your current bank is to Capital One 360, but I've heard that it does take a few days for it to clear in your bank, so I decided to sign up for Zelly. So what I do is my Zelly account with Chase has my email, And my Capital One with Zelle is with my phone number. So when I choose to transfer from my Chase to Capital One, I use my phone number for Capital One, and that's how basically sending myself money to my Capital One 360. I hope that makes sense. If you use Zelle before, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But if you haven't heard of it, definitely want to check into it. There's no fees or anything like that. It's completely free, and I get the money instantly. I don't have to wait a couple of days or anything like that for it to clear. I love Zelle, and it's super simple to do it. I did not show it on camera because that does have more of my information on it, so that's why I showed you a picture. I'm not sure. Just check with your bank to see if they use Zelle. Not all banks do that. I used to have, when I first started my budget, I had a bank that did not do Zelle. So I am new to Chase as well as Capital One. Like, I redid everything when I started my budget for 2020. I really did. It was a lot of work, but I did it and I'm loving it. So I used Zelle and I got my money right away into my Capital One. It is linked to my miscellaneous account. Let's zoom you in there. It is in my it is in my miscellaneous account. As you can see, that is quite a large number. And what I added, this is my scrap paper from last time. I went ahead and added, and I had transferred $1,542.35. That was the total amount I needed to transfer. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my miscellaneous account, okay? And I am going to click on transfer right here. This is how simple. Now what I'm going to do first is the bills. So I'm going to transfer from, it's coming from miscellaneous, and it's going to bills. And I'm picking the date. Now I'm going to choose the amount. So I'm going to take this bill total amount right here, and that is what's going to go there. So $996.66. That is what's going to my bills account. And then it just verifies for you miscellaneous. Hope you guys can really see that. Miscellaneous to transfer to bills, and it's $996.66. And then you just slide the transfer. And there you go. So now I'm going to make another transfer. Let's see if I need to focus in on that a little bit. Okay, so we're going to make another transfer. It's coming from miscellaneous because that's where all the money is sitting right now. And then we're going to transfer to, let's see, now we got to do all the individual sinking funds. All this numbers right here, so not the budgeted amount. There we go. This right here in the black, the actual amount that I'm putting in there, this is the amount that I got to transfer to. So we're going to start with travels. And I do this one by one. I'll show you how I do it again. Pick a date. We're transferring from miscellaneous to travels, to the travels account. We're going to choose the amount, $50. Done. And there it is. So you just double check, make sure, transfer to travels, $50, and slide. Transfer done. So now I'm going to click make another transfer, and I'm going to keep doing this for each account. Okay. And I'm going to kind of speed the video through this part. Okay, so now all the transfers are done. So you can see we've got all the bill money in there, like every single thing we transferred. So from my main bank, Chase, we took the amount and Zellied it, or Zelle, however you say that, and we transferred this amount from there, okay, and it went into my miscellaneous account in Capital One. and then from there I transferred it and dispersed it basically throughout these accounts. So it is so exciting just to really see these accounts growing, especially like look at that, my medical, you guys. As some of you know, I'm going through a lot with my health and going to the doctors, I'm not looking forward to it, but I am. I really need to go, and so growing that account is super important. So that's gonna go for the copays and all that, because copays are for my husband's insurance with his company is pretty high, so we have to put money aside for that. But yeah, it's growing, and I'm really excited just to see all these accounts growing. We've been really hitting the gifts area because I the birthdays and different things coming up, and I have two of my sisters are actually pregnant right now, so yeah, baby gifts and all the fun stuff. But we've got everything is growing, and as you can see, these accounts that we really don't spend a lot of money on clothes and things like that, and so I've just been building that little by little. Pets, I mean, that's not a all the time expense. My dogs, their dog food and things like that comes out of our household account. This will be more of if they need to get any shots and things like that. This will be this account here. Christmas, little by little, right? Everything matters, and I encourage you that, again, just like when it comes to how much you can put into your debt, same thing with your sinking funds. If you're really wanting to have sinking funds for just different reasons, for your life, don't get discouraged if you could only do a little bit at a time. Trust me, it starts adding up. I'm telling you, it's crazy. And look at this, you guys. Look at that car loan. So I've said in my previous video, the reason why we're paying our extra debt amount over here, so whatever extra debt we're paying, which is our car loan, is our last debt. Since starting our budget journey in 2020, we've already paid off two of our debts, and now focusing on our car loan, which I'm so excited about. And they don't allow us to pay them extra towards principal without them charging interest, and I did not want to do that. So we decided to open an extra savings account just for the car loan. And when this reaches the payoff amount, we're going to take all that money and pay off the car in a lump sum. So this is going to be building interest, because with Capital One, they pay interest, and very, very good interest. So if you haven't watched my sinking funds video, and when I was showing and all about Capital One, that video will be linked below. I would just link all the videos below when it comes to my debt, so you can see if this is your first time watching. I explain all those things. And of course, our emergency fund, we're just letting that sit there and build interest. So it's really, really exciting to see. This is awesome. So this gives us, because we budget to zero, having all these sinking funds just gives us peace of mind and gives us that security that, if, we happen to need something, my kids need a pair of shoes, we have a clothing fund. If, just anything happens with the car, we have a car maintenance fund. If anything happens, with the house, we're building money toward, saving money towards that. Anything happens where we never budgeted for and just something came up, or for any reason, we have a miscellaneous account. If my husband has to pick up tomorrow and travel for work, it's okay. I don't have to stress that I have to use bill money or anything else for that, because I have a travels sinking fund. So we're like, this provides us with so much security. And with the bills, obviously you can see that the amount in my bills account is different than the total amount here for bills from this paycheck. That's because with the last paycheck of February, we paid some bills for March already, like our mortgage and electric bill, water bill, things like that. Some of those have not cleared yet, which is why there's, you know, this much money in the bills account. And again, that's another reason why I love having a separate account just for my bills, because I don't have to worry about that. Before, when I had one bank account and everything was coming out of there, I was so stressed and be so annoyed if one of the companies, you know, they just took forever to clear something. You know how that is. So, you know, if you have automatic withdrawal, you know, you have to wait until that clears. Even if you had the money earlier in the month, you have to make sure that you're on top of it and you don't accidentally spend one of your bill money, right? The money for your bills. So now, with it being completely separate and on its own account, all my automatic withdrawals are they are drafted from this account, and when I pay, my debit card for Capital One is linked to my bills account, so I can just pay with that, and I don't have to worry about it. Like, the money is there, and that's it. So I absolutely love that. So as you can see, you guys, like, the interface, the whole thing with Capital One 360 online, like, it is so simple, and they let me, you know, rename the bank accounts, which is, oh my gosh, I don't think I could have done digital envelopes if they didn't allow me to change the names of each account, to be honest with you. I think it would have been chaos trying to just deal with looking at a bunch of numbers all the time. So the fact that they allow you to name each account is so awesome and comes in so handy. So I know exactly what each account is, okay? So we're gonna log out of this. Okay, so now that I've made those deposits, the next thing that I do is how I track my sinking funds. Okay, so I then go into my planner, which I am going to show you guys. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I take out this paper right here. This is why I like my binder planner. I can take the paper in and out. I can use regular pieces of paper, put it in here. I love my little DIY planner. So I am gonna go to my sinking funds. So if you see my sinking funds videos, I showed you guys this before, and this is how I can track, obviously, through my phone with the online bank, right? I can see what's in my accounts and all that stuff. But I am a pen to paper kind of girl. I like to be able to see it and write it down, and I can see like how much I'm depositing, how much I'm taking out, all that good stuff. So, and what is the balance in each and every single account that we have. And that is how I keep track. So once I put the money in to Capital One and disperse it throughout all the sinking funds, what I do is I take this paper and I just write down and go through each one of how much I did the deposit for, and I will update the balance. So I will do one with you, and then let me see. And I'll probably fast forward through this so it doesn't take forever for you guys. So as you can see, and that's the same for all of these, I just write down that I deposited and the amount that I deposited, and then I just do the total balance, and that's what I have. And then I do the same thing and go one by one through each one, okay? I'm not going to show you all that, so the video is not forever, but you guys get the idea of how I do that. And I add it. Now, after I'm done writing it down and having it in my planner and putting in all the amounts that I deposited in there, what I like to do is then go into my phone. Let me zoom in for you guys so you can see that. I go into my phone and I have the name of every category that I have, okay? And so this is my, you can say my envelopes up here, which these up here come out of my Chase account. They're all together in my Chase account, and I keep track of the balance of my groceries, household gas, and everything like that. So when we're out and about, I know if we need to pick up something last minute, I look in here and I say, okay, we have this much, we can only spend so much, you know? So I'm able to always know what my balances are for each category. And I do the same thing for my sinking funds. If we were out and about and something happened with the car, God forbid, you know, just anything, I can go right in here and I can see how much I have in that account. Okay, if we're out and about and we want to stop, maybe we just need to stop and get something to eat. My entertainment account is what I use also towards fast food, you know, just eating out in general. I can see, well, this is how much we have in there. So where can we eat to make sure that we stay in that budget? We cannot spend more than that. So this is really helpful to just have on the go and keep track of what I have. And every time that we spend anything, so when I go into my tracker, okay, when I go into my tracker, it's somewhere. Okay, so when I'm in here, and I will keep going back. And so for groceries, obviously we spent, I will go back in here after I've done the totals in my other papers. I go in here and always change this and make sure I am on top of this and keeping up, you know, just I'm really on top of it, you guys. I know it seems like a lot, and I hope that when you're seeing this, you're not like, oh my gosh, like that's like she's doing way too much. It can be for some people. It can be like, whoa, you know, like overwhelming. And I get that. But for me, I do a lot of extra steps. You don't necessarily have to do your budget this way, okay? I just like having it. You don't have to have it this way on your phone. I just like to know all my balances on my phone when I'm on the go. So I choose to do this extra step. You see what I mean? I don't have to keep track of all of my singing funds on, you know, on paper, because I do have the app and everything like that. But I like to see things written down in front of me and just having control and just seeing where the money's going in and out and all that stuff. Okay, so that's my choice. You can totally stop at, you know, once you budget your check, wherever I put that. I don't even know where it went, right? Look at that. Oh, I think I left it back here with the sinking funds. I did. But you can stop here if you wanted to, right? Like you can, it's really up to you, just to make sure whatever you decide to do that you understand it. That's why I was kind of nervous to do these budget videos, because I'm like, that's kind of like me, it feels like I need to let you guys in my brain to how I think things and do these numbers and that and this and that. And it's kind of hard to explain it, but I can be all over the place sometimes in my brain, but I understand my chaos, right? Like, do you ever feel like that? Like, you have chaos in a certain area in your life, but it doesn't seem like that for you because you understand it. You understand your chaos, your stuff. And that's just how I feel with my budget. It may not be understanding or easy to explain to other people when they see this and all that, but I understand it. I totally get it. So, and it may be the same. Like, honestly, when I was watching budget videos, it was late last year when I started getting like crazy hooked to watching all these budget videos on YouTube and learning about this stuff. And it honestly wasn't until when I sat down and started doing my budget in January that things started to click, you know? Like, even filling out this form from the Budget Mom, at first I was like, I didn't even get it. I'm like, how do you do this? But you know what, you guys? I just realized I forgot to write the due dates on all of these. That's all right. I already know. I'll go back and do that. But anyhow, so you do this the best for you, you know? You may not want to write out your bills, but I still like to keep track of my bills and all that stuff. So it's really just depending on what's, you know, what works best for you. But I really enjoy doing it like this. It works well for me and my family. We have been doing great with this budget. and sticking to the budget. Even with groceries, which I think was going to, I felt like it was going to be the hardest thing out of everything to learn to do, was going to be cutting down on my budget. But we've been doing it. We really have. So if you guys are interested in seeing, you know, some type of budget groceries, like how I do that, let me know. I will say I don't go grocery shopping every week like I used to. I will tell you that, which has been very, very interesting. But yeah, we don't go grocery shopping every single week anymore. And but it's been working. It's been working. So that is how I spread out my money through all that and keep track of my sinking funds. So after I do it from, you know, on my phone through the bank, I go in and write it all down, keep track in my planner, and then I go in and I keep track of it on my phone. So little extra steps, but it's awesome for me and my family. So I really hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope that it wasn't confusing. And subscribe if you know, if you would like to follow us. Hit that like button if you like this video. It really helps me out too. I don't know what I was doing with the thumbs, but hit that thumbs up button. Thank you guys so much for watching. You have an awesome day, and until the next one, bye guys.